I just wanted to take a few minutes, sit down with a very good friend of mine, Jonathan Parker, and just kind of talk about your success for a few minutes. You know, they say 97% of the population just doesn't have that itch to become successful. Kind of tell me, you know, some things that you've kind of gone through with me in the past. You know, what separates you from everybody else?
You know, I think mostly it's just attitude and commitment. I mean, being a 3%er, which most salespeople and internet entrepreneurs understand, is just all attitude. I mean, all what you expect out of your life and what you want, and how hard you're going to work for it.
Right. Awesome. Tell me what kind of gave you that drive and that commitment.
You know, I think a lot of it was my family and like pushing me to be that person. But when I left Weimar, Texas as a horse trainer, I just understood that, like, I was broke. I used to sleep in a bunkhouse with mice climbing on my clothes, and I knew that I just deserved better in my life. And the hard work part of it, I was okay with. And one thing I've learned is if you work hard enough for what you want in your life, you'll get it.
Right.
And I know that sounds very simple, but that's what's happened in my life. I mean, just work hard enough, understand, listen to people, and you'll be successful.
Would it be fair to say that, I mean, the people that you surround yourself with have a lot to do with your success?
If you don't surround yourself with people who want to be exactly where you are in life, you're never going to be successful. If you make $1 million or $2 million a year, I mean, for instance, I mean, if you know a millionaire that makes $1 million a year, just who does he hang out with?
Millionaires, probably.
Probably millionaires.
Right.
He's probably golfing with millionaires. He's probably talking and interacting with millionaires.
Right.
So, to be safe to say, I mean, you need to interact with people that want to go exactly where you want to go.
Awesome. Tell me what kind of made you make that transition from a horse trainer to being, you know, a great entrepreneur and you know, the type of businessman you are.
It was very hard for me as a person because I came from nothing. I didn't even graduate high school. I came from nothing. My father was a great entrepreneur and largest Kirby distributor on the West Coast. I mean, he had everything in a hand bucket per se, and it was hard for me as a person to make that transition just because I never thought that I deserved it. And the worst thing that anybody watching this video right now could honestly tell themselves is that they don't deserve what they deserve.
Right.
Because if you believe and you want to do the work and you listen to people who are above you, you definitely will accomplish it.
Okay, that's fair. Any advice you'd like to maybe give? I know that you give me tons of advice every single day, and I'll be the first one to tell you it works if you apply yourself. I mean, and you broke it down pretty simply for me. What kind of advice would you give to someone else that might be watching this that wants to be successful but feels like they don't know what it takes?
That's simple. Well, it's simple. It has a simplicity in how I put it, but find out what you want in life. Find exactly what it's going to take to accomplish it, and then find exactly what you need to sacrifice to accomplish those goals.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Awesome. Where are you kind of taking yourself? I mean, we've talked in the past about you making 6 figures a year, and you know, you've been doing it consistently for like the last 5 years. Where are you seeing yourself in the next 5 years?
And in the next 5 years, if I'm not making $1 million a year, then obviously I don't have kids at this point, but if I can't put my nephews and nieces through college by myself, I'm going to see myself as a failure, because everything that I've accomplished has led up to this point, and $1 million to me isn't that much money, and it's more about winning. That's all it's about. It's about winning and helping best friends and family and everybody that's around me just being better people, and understanding that we were born and bred to be those kind of people, and we're not the people that work for somebody. We work for ourselves.
Let me ask you a question in the same On the same topic, if you will, does everyone have what it takes to be successful?
I honestly believe so. I really do. I think some people, fear comes into play. I think that maybe the disbelief comes into play.
Okay.
But being where I was 10 years ago and being where I am now, if you apply everything that people can teach you in your life, you can be successful. Like one of my mentors back at another store I was at selling, he told me, I asked him, I was like, how did you get to where you are right now? And he said, I rode on the backs of giants. You should understand that. And I was like, well, I don't really get it because I was young and all I cared about was money.
Right.
I was like, I could care less about giants and all this. I'm making $20,000 a month.
Right.
I was fine with it. But what I learned once I got more mature is the reason why you ride on backs of giants is because they know more than you, and you can take a $20,000 a month into a $40,000 a month just by learning what they know.
Right.
And you should implement that every day.
Now, I know you make it sound really easy, but is it really that easy of a concept to grasp and to make a habit?
Habits are very hard to grasp for most people, including myself. If you truly want to grasp a concept, you have to wrap your mind around it and change your whole life. And I honestly think if 100% of the people, actually this is statistically proven, if 100% of the people in the whole world changed the way they thought, they'd all be successful.
Right.
It's not a difficult thing. It's more of what you really want. Decide what you want, what it's going to take to get there, and what you have to sacrifice to have what you want.
Right.
It's that simple. But how many people really want to sacrifice it? I don't know. But we all should. For our families, for our friends.
Right. That's fair. I agree with you 100%. Is there anything else that maybe you'd like to share, tonight?
I just think that if you're sitting at home right now and you've had a crappy job like I've had and you don't want to be stuck in that rut listening to some corporate guy who's no better than you, who just has that position but he has no more ability, maybe you could have his job.
Right.
If you're sitting at home wondering how you're going to take care of your wife or your husband or your kids or whatever your problem is, look inside yourself and decide at that point that I'm going to make a change. And I've been blessed for one reason. The friends around me have told me that I was that good. Maybe you need somebody to tell you that you're that good.
I agree with you.
And if you do, then obviously there's going to be a link at this website that you can do that to. Do it.
Okay.
Don't stop.
I'll be the first one to tell you it works, folks. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thanks.
I appreciate your time.
Appreciate your time.
Nice seeing you.